Saludos amigos, mi nombre es Mark Nieves y bienvenido a un nuevo episodio de Cine Geek Live. En esta ocasión es algo especial para ustedes y tenemos aquí una entrevista especial para ustedes donde estamos conversando con el director y el protagonista de la película Suffer for Good. Así que les doy aquí la bienvenida a Danny y a Seb. How are you guys? Woohoo! It's getting pop. It's getting pop. Yes.
Let's go.
Yes. Yes, this is the best way to start, I think, an interview. Applause, being happy, be cheerful. The energy brings everything back and forth. So first of all, thanks you guys for the opportunity. Thanks for being a chance to talk to you guys and know the process of how this all began. So let's start with Danny. Tell me, why did you pick that Seb story to be bring to the big screen?
I just want to say thank you, Mark, for having us. And I would love to talk about Seb and why he inspired me to bring this film to light. Is that within meeting him, moments after 10 minutes after having the hardest warm up, which I thought was the full workout I had in one of his classes, he was already punching me. So I was like, what? I don't, it was pretty quick. It was like, wow. And not that I didn't like it. It was just pushed me towards a place I didn't think I could go athletically within a very short time. And I thought he was very special because of that. And what inspired me was I talked to him right after our class. I was like, what's your story? Who are you? Where are you from? And he just has such a charming personality. And he's just such a you can feel when someone like your positive energy starting our interview. Seb has that when he starts any class or he's teaching or preparing for anything that has that positive energy that kind of emanates. And I was like, he's special. So that was what it was. And I'm just grateful to be a vessel for the film Suffer for Good.
Very good. So, Seth, tell me, your story is very interesting. The 1984 was a big year in the Olympics. When I heard the backstory, what happened that you couldn't go to be a participant on it. It was sorry, and because in Puerto Rico, boxing is very, very big. It's kind of our culture. We grew up with boxing. Remember in the 80s was Hector Macho Camacho, Felicito
Yeah.
Trinidad, and then from the 84 was John Molina. So, boxing has been very, very positive here in Puerto Rico. Then I noticed your story once you began that not because of you, it was because of what happened between Russia and the United States. You were not able to compete, but you were able to triumph over that. So I imagine that day was a living hell, I think. But tell me how was that experience on that day when you were told you were not able to represent Ethiopia in the Olympics.
Yeah, this. Thank you for having us. First, I just really appreciate it to having us to give us this opportunity to Puerto Rico Radio, and really, I don't have any word to say more than that. Just thank you so much. And this is like when let's say you're hungry or starving, when you go to the restaurant,
Yes.
you drive like hours, and the restaurant's closed.
Mm,
You don't have any to go. That restaurant, that's the only restaurant in that area. So the same thing, just that you starving and being holding to go right over that restaurant to eat, and you drove 2 hours or 3 hours to go that special food to eat, and by the time you get there, it's closed. And just that very sad. I mean, we've been working hard, and finally we're waiting for 4 years to participate in the Los Angeles Olympic, and we work hard 3 times a day and cutting weights, and we have to weight certain weight. If you cannot eat whatever you want, and you're watching your diet the whole year to be an Olympic team, and finally they told us we're not going. It's really really painful. It's just like you don't have any goal to go anywhere to go, and just everybody became hopeless,
mm-hmm.
and it's very sad. And they just like I mean, there is no, I mean, to explain this kind of situation. I've been working hard 4 years to participate in Olympics, and they told you you cannot go because of this
Yeah.
politics. they have. It's just very sad. It's very just like, and I have no word to explain that. To be honest, it's just very sad. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Basically, before I continue, I want to say thanks to Rafi Mediavilla, which is a big supporter, and also Camille is here with us here at the chat room. So, hola Camille, he's right here with us.
Hello.
Okay.
Hey, Rafi. Hey, Camille.
So, Danny, I want to. I know the process of filming a documentary is not an easy one. You have to strike a lightning in a moment. What was I think the story towards him getting himself prepared for the fight. I think that was a stroke of genius because it's something that we're seeing his struggles as we understand see his story unfold. We know his struggles and his new goal in life, which is never giving up. I want to fight. And how did was that something you had set in mind, or was something that just fall into your lap? How was that goal?
To be totally honest, it's a great question, Mark. The film was initially going to be a short piece on Seb. Okay. You know, I was just Seb said, "Hey, I should do someone said they were going to do a documentary on me." And I was like, "Well, hey, I'll shoot something for you." You know, I didn't know what I was committing to, nor did Seb. And I think, what was it, Seb? Like 2 days later, I show up at the gym and he and Jared are training. And it was really magical. I assembled some clips together and showed some people at Sony where we were both working at the time, Seb and I. And they said, keep moving forward with this. It's not just a short film. This is a feature. You have to tell his story. This has to happen. And then Seb, shortly after shooting a little bit, became inspired to get back in the ring. So that definitely fell into my lap, to answer your question. It was just a stroke of luck. And then he was inspired to train, and we had these natural obstacles, which is, how do you get physically cleared as a senior boxer? How do you make sure that your heart is okay to compete? And these things that are just things that I take for granted right now is when you've had, Seb's had some heart, surgeries, right? You really have to make sure you're okay to do something. Boxing is very dangerous. So a lot of the stakes are real, and also the storyline is authentic, and how it plays out is just, it's miraculous, right? So I think, and also reconnecting with Dr. Rick Hodes, all these moments are beautifully poetic, and I hope that people enjoy how it kind of interweaves together.
Yeah, it was very interesting because you can write a script, but when it's a documentary, you can write that, and it was a stroke of genius. It was very nice to see the full cycle of how everything goes around, and how he wasn't able to compete in the Olympics, how he transformed his life and became a great trainer. We see all these MMA fighters. We see how the sport has evolved, and that was really, really, really nice. I wanted to also ask Seb, I noticed that you had three boys, and one was starting in the beginning of the movie asking you questions. I would say, "Damn, he's good at it." And how you started was really, really good. But also,
I wish we had him asking the questions the whole time.
Yeah, no, he was really, really good. But I noticed also your oldest son, he seemed to be older than his age was, because he was wise beyond his years. He loved his father. You notice when he talks about you that how much he loves you, and also how you've been, besides being a father, a role model in his life, and also the name of the movie, the Suffer for Good, came from like a speech that we were talking to you, that you have to fight for what you want, because if they give it for free, you won't appreciate it. You won't say thank you. You just take it for granted. And how was this your involvement with your son? Currently, is he fighting? Because at the end of the film, we see he's training. Can you give me a little bit about your connection with him, and how special it was having him and your whole family being part of this movie?
Yes, a good question. I just nobody asked me about this so far. You're the first
Woo-hoo!
one. Right.
All right.
This is $1 million question, to be honest. Matt and I really we have a good relationship. I see him like a friend,
Mm-hmm.
as a brother. I don't see him. I told him every single day, do not see me as a dad. I want you to see me as a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Share me your problem. Share me your experience. What are you passing through? You promise. Before this is I'm talking about before the movies. Before we finish the movie, we didn't have any idea about the movie, and we built up that
Yeah.
relationship. And I told him in and out about my life, what I did when I was a little kid, and that we have more intimacy, more connection that we have with him. Then I built up, and by the time we start doing the movie, he couldn't believe it. Daddy, the camera is following you. You're famous now. And no, not yet, not yet. Then he's the only one knows when I do the fight. I didn't tell anybody, which is that we're close. And I told him I'm gonna have a fight. Are you kidding me? Yes. And he was super shocked. And then he started doing for the to be a varsity team for his high school. He started waking up 5:30 in the morning. He go to park. He does 100 push-ups, 200 push-ups, and he started doing 1,000 shoots every single morning. Then after that, he come back home and where'd you learn this? I learned from you, Dad. This is what I want to do like you. I said, wow, that's impressive. He's 15, 16 years old. He started waking up at 5:30 and he go to park by himself. Nobody's in the park.
Wow.
And he does 1,000 shoots and push-ups. And I said, wow, that's a good, discipline, determination.
Yes.
And we built up that relationship. Anything that I told him, still, I'm trying to be more closer towards him. He is really very matured. And I don't know, sometimes he got wisdom. What do you get? Well, with the wisdom, and I ask him, I got it from you, Dad. I think I don't have anything else. I got all wisdom from you. He's a very smart kid. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Thank God for that. I really appreciate him. And he encouraged me always. Yeah, he asked me all the time, "How you doing?" And we became friendly. And it's really, I'm very surprised. Thank God for that.
In other words, you
Yeah.
have done a great job.
Yeah,
You
thank
have to
you.
give yourself a pat in the back and say, "I've done a good job."
Yeah.
That's very important to have that kind of relationship. I noticed in the film that you lost your father, also your sister, which was very
Hmm.
important in the movie. The representation showing where you came from and where are
Hmm.
you going to, and that was really nice. And seeing your relationship with your family, with your wife, and also with your boys, it was really good. So that was, I think, very good in the part of Danny showing all the sides of what made you who you are. Because we show when there's a documentary, yes, you show the process, what is happening, but know what like the behind the scenes of what is happening turns more into a reality show. This is not it. This is a documentary showing how you've been working, how your family is involved in it, and all the process. And that's the way I really enjoyed it. That's the reason why.
Thank you.
Also, Danny, I noticed that since you told me you're working with Sony, and all of a sudden you got this opportunity. If somebody was starting out to become a documentary or just starting to do movies, what recommendation would you give, or have you received one that make you go forward toward your goals? I'm going to do this.
Mm.
Can you tell me a little bit?
I think Seb. Honestly, Suffer for Good is that recommendation. If you want to make a documentary, it is going to take a lot out of your life, a lot of time, and a lot of energy. The same energy Seb puts into boxing. I was there, every day of almost 100 days shooting with Seb, and you're almost getting punched
Yeah.
just about every time, and that's only in production. You're dodging the punches with a little camera, and these guys they don't punch, it hurts. So but the main thing is there are going to be obstacles in anything you want to do. So if it's make documentaries, it's going to be harder. It was much harder than I thought it was, and I didn't visualize an easy path, but it was a rewarding journey because of the mantra of Suffer for Good, to keep enduring, keep going, keep moving, do not quit. And these things are the overarching ethos of stuff that just Seb says. I just listen,
Yeah.
right? John Wooden says, if you want to lead, just follow. And I just am like leading by following Seb. You know what I mean? So I just follow. If Seb says suffer for good, it's great. Okay, this isn't going to be easy. You know, I wish I was better at interviews. It's not going to be easy. I got to get practice. You got to do more. You have to talk slower. I have to improve that. So for anybody who wants to work on documentaries, I'd say do it 100%. If you're inspired and it's now, because you have to do it right now and run with it. And then know that it's going to take a lot of time to figure out your story in post-production because you didn't write the script. But that's really where the genius or the work comes in, is trying to find how you're going to tie each moment, each vignette together and make it a cohesive story. And with Seb's through line, it was very effortless.
Yeah,
because he's such a good character and an inspiring person.
That's very nice. Yes, you can feel that emotion towards him when he was talking about the 1984 Olympics. Also, when he got stabbed, and you notice all the downfalls that probably somebody else on that day could maybe gone to another path. Maybe instead of going like a trainer, maybe going into drugs, into alcohol, and lost in there. And maybe probably he wouldn't be here, or probably he wouldn't have a family. So it was very nice seeing that side, and also provide how you have to reach for your goals. And that's something that I was impressed with the story. Also, I wanted to ask Seb, I also like the way that God wasn't like preach on it, but I noticed it was a big part of your life. The way you were, there's a part that were in church, and also that touched me, reflect me, because sometimes there's an expression here that says that well, no es in Puerto Rico, but dice de Dios no aprieta, Dios aprieta pero no ahoga. That God in a way kind of struggles you, like pushes in places, but doesn't hurt you. That's a rough translation of it. And basically, what it says that God puts you in situations in life so you don't take life for granted. Maybe the situation where you lost, where you were able to compete in the Olympics, was something that it was already in the plan. That you notice when you lose, like the way. And I don't want to be a spoiler here, but at the end of the of the documentary, we noticed when you didn't win the fight. My bad. But at the same way, you said that it was a learning experience, and also your son was very grateful that, well, we didn't achieve what we wanted, but we lost and we gained so much. How can you say that around God has it been important in your life, or both of you, if you want to give an answer to that question?
Here is, God. Everything has a reason in our life. So at this time, I don't know what you're passing through, Mark. It just God knows. Mm-hmm. So you might have a challenge with a relationship, with your family, with your kids, with finance, and that's a test. If you don't have resistance, which is challenge, you're not gonna be the winner. So to be successful, we have to have a challenge. Mm-hmm. If you don't have challenge, winning is not gonna help you. And one day when you lose, you're gonna be disappointed, which is you might kill yourself. Mm-hmm. And how I'm gonna lose this? So when you lose, sadly, I want to get back this thing as soon as possible. That's like just gambling. You win gambling, and when you suddenly you lose $1,000, I want to get back this $1,000 back. You put $1,000 back, you lose $1,000. So because you never lose before. So when you lose, always you gain something, which is you gain some knowledge. What? Because how you lose that fight, or how you lose your money, because of you made some mistakes. So I learned from mistakes, which is I gain a knowledge. So always when you lose, you gain some knowledge, believe it or not. So most of us that we have a problem we have a big egos. We don't like to lose. We like to fight. It's okay, lose and learn something, and you'll gain. And that's the human maybe personality that we have. We don't have a big egos. We don't like to lose. We keep fighting. It's not that time to win. It's okay. Just pass it. And that's why people go to different direction. They don't want to lose. To forget things, they start drinking drugs. They start drinking alcohol. Sometimes some of them they kill themselves or they kill somebody else because they cannot pass that problem. They don't want to lose. So this is, I believe in for myself or other people that who's going to watch the movie, they will learn some knowledge, some page. I mean, it gives them kind of strength, their weakness. They have a motivation to brave their goals, to achieve their goal. They have the kind of to get the moral and confidence. Hey, I get knocked out, I have to get up. I have to continue. I don't want to stay there. And that's the goal, the mission is to suffer for good. I hope they'll learn something too from that.
Very nice, very nice. And it wasn't for if the Olympics didn't happen in '84, at least you wouldn't be in the movies, and maybe probably when they were met Danny, they will having all this fun with all the people meeting around the world in these interviews and everything. So when, like they said, when one door closes, many open. You just have to look for it, which one is the best one for yourself, and just walk through it. And that's the beauty of life. And also, I want to ask, Danny, okay, this been a very, very good, well done documentary, and also I noticed that it was like a passion project. It was felt on the screen. So, like they say, what's next? What's next for you? What you're working on? There we go. A preview.
A little tease. Well, what's next is we're doing a lot of press for Suffer for Good, but I'm working on a baseball documentary, and that's titled The Grind, and it's on a friend of mine who played for the Los Angeles Dodgers. His name's Josh Raven, and once again, similar story. He was like, come out and film me in Japan. That was after we finished shooting The Grind, and he flew me out, and we were in Tokyo and shooting this documentary of him for the first time leaving the States in his life and going to Japan to play the game that made him a big time person here in the States. He's going to Japan, so it's kind of like a fish out of water story. And now where he is, it's very similar to Suffer for Good, trying to find the will to overcome aging and father time, and how do you continue playing professional sports or boxing, for instance, in Seb's story. So it's the very, very similar themes, and the grind and suffering for good. The grit is something that I find fascinating. So that's why I definitely gravitate towards those storylines, like Seb's in Suffer for Good. Yeah. I like how I plugged it in Suffer for Good. Yeah.
Very good, very good. And also in Puerto Rico, baseball is very, very big. So if you come to Puerto Rico, yeah, you're gonna be loving here because they love boxing and baseball.
Oh, well then, do you know Kenny Vargas from the Minnesota Twins? He's in that. So Kenny Vargas. So Roberto Clemente, obviously we know, and so he has a tattoo of him on his calf. Yeah. But he's in that documentary.
Oh, nice.
So he's so he played for the Minnesota Twins, and and for the World Baseball Classic team representing Puerto Rico. He's in The Grind.
Wow. So great, Puerto Rico. You have to come here.
Yeah, right. Oh, I've never been. I would love to go.
Once the pandemic slows down, everything's go back to normalcy. So go ahead. Okay,
you mean Seb? We're gonna meet up in person.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, that sounds great. And Seb, what else do you have planned for? I'm sorry. What's your? What, you have another movie? Maybe starting with Gal Gadot, probably Wonder Woman 3. We hear love interest.
Yeah. And everybody asking me, who was the movie? Everybody asking me, where's going to be the part 2? And so,
well, you have to talk to the guy next to you. No, but it was an excellent story. Great. I like movies that give you hope, that show you how much the willing to live reaches over everything. Any goals, you have to go for it. And this is a perfect example of it. I'm very enjoyed it from the beginning to the end. It was sad when it ended because I continued. I need more of that. So I'm going for the sequel. So make it happen. Yes. But again, thank you so much for the opportunity. The movie is currently right now on VOD. I put some links on the interview so you can find it on Amazon, Vimeo, on iTunes, and so you can find it. It's available, and also it's not in Amazon. I think it's for $10. You can buy it. So it's a great price. It's a great gift, Christmas gift. And here in Puerto Rico, if you love boxing, this is a story for you. So, guys, thank you so much for taking your time and for this interview. And thank you so much, and have a good one. All right? Anything you want to say to the public, or just go ahead? Anything you want to say to the fans here in Puerto Rico?
Danny, go.
So, gracias.
Very good.
And don't forget to, muchas gracias. And we love you. Have a happy holidays. And thanks for watching and tuning in. Stay tuned. And Mark, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. And Seb?
God bless Puerto Rico. God bless Puerto Rico. We love you.
Yeah. All right.
Merry Christmas.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. And then till next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.